Crypto is based on a mathematical formula called the blockchain. And the blockchain is the first technology that has not come from the bowels of the first world-changing technology that has not come from the bowels of a government black program within the military or from IBM, Microsoft, Apple, Samsung, or some other corporation. It came from the people. And the technology, by and large, has been open source. If it's not, we don't play with it. So open source means it's available to anybody. That what work you have done is now available to the world. That you can add to it, subtract from it, multiply it, whatever you choose. This is a, well, it's a defining moment in the evolution of the human mind, in my mind. And the first application for the blockchain was cryptocurrency. And cryptocurrency, the first application of cryptocurrency was Bitcoin, which has far outlived its life expectancy. I mean, good God almighty, it's 11 years old. Now, nobody in the fucking world accepts Bitcoin, people. I'm sorry, I wish they did, but they don't. What do they accept? Monero, the world's most private privacy coin. Because if you send me $100 worth of Bitcoin, or I send you the same, forever after, each of us can look in our wallets and see how much do we have, what comes in and from whom, what goes out and to whom. Now, if a plumber came to your house and fixed a leaky sink, you wrote them a check for $20 and they went to your bank and said, hi, you know, I have a check from John McAfee for $20. Can you tell me how much money he has? And the bank goes, oh, absolutely. He's got X amount. And he goes, good. Can you please tell me what his last 20 deposits were and who they were from? The bank goes, absolutely, no fucking problem. And you go, and now, Mr. Bank, from forever after, every time something comes into or leaves Mr. McAfee's account, would you please notify me? And the bank goes, sure, absolutely. That, my friends, is what Bitcoin is. Please,
John,
God.
what do you think though about, I mean, Monero's great for private transactions and stuff, but people just trust Bitcoin. It's 200 times larger than Monero. So how do you think?
It's not larger than Monero. It's not, it's nothing. You're talking about the fucking market. The market is created, monitored, and maintained by people who know nothing about cryptocurrency, my friend. They're institutional fucking investors. No, Monero is the only goddamn currency that's used. Nobody uses Bitcoin. People trade Bitcoin, but you and I and everybody knows that eventually people are going to catch up and catch on and go, oh, fuck me. Bitcoin's worthless. It is worthless. You know it's worthless. Please, God, what is the worth of a cryptocurrency? The use of it.
So
Monero.
So Monero is going to overtake Bitcoin. That's what you think, like long term, or do you think?
Of course it is. Of course it is. Please, God, let's wake up people. Why was Bitcoin eventually worth as much as it was originally? Because it was used as a fucking currency. Nobody will use Bitcoin anymore. It's old, clunky, slow, expensive, with zero privacy. Nobody uses it. It's a piece of shit that the world has not understood yet.
So, John, just to play devil's advocate, because I want to hear your thoughts on this. I mean, there's a lot of ways that they're trying to add more privacy features to Bitcoin, right?
Are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? Yes, like there's a lot you can add to a Model T Ford to make it a fucking space rocket. Good God, wake up, my friend. No, it's stupid. Fucking please, please, God. You look like a man with a brain. You know better than this. You
Yeah,
fucking know better.
John, I agree with you on the need for privacy. I mean, it's just not a reality.
Not
That
just
Monero is bigger than
privacy,
Bitcoin
not
right
just
now.
privacy. Show me how the fuck you put a smart contract on the Bitcoin blockchain. Impossible. Well, what
Oh yeah, it's
use
not
is a
going to happen.
goddamn
I agree with
blockchain
you.
without a smart contract? Everybody has a smart contract except Bitcoin. What about a
Oh no, I agree
distributed
with you. Yeah,
application?
never
You
gonna.
can't put
We're not building
dApps.
smart contracts there.
You can't put dApps on a. Please, God, please wake the fuck up. If you actually believe Bitcoin is worth more than 5 cents, then please explain that to me.
So John, where's the money going to flow though? I mean, why are people buying Bitcoin today if it's not
Because they're
not worth
stupid. They
anything?
don't understand the blockchain. That's why they don't understand cryptocurrency. That's why. Please wake up, people. Please, God. It's a worthless fucking piece of shit. We all know it. We
So
all
John,
know it.
when do people realize it though? I mean, when
I don't
let's
give
say
a
you're
shit
right.
when they realize. It's not my problem. I don't give a shit. All I'm doing
But what's going
is
to be the inflection
understanding
point
what
though?
does have value. No, who cares? Who cares? Here's the problem with the cryptocurrency world. People are using it as a way to make money by exchanging. Do you understand the stupidity of that? Cryptocurrency is the golden fucking key to unlock your cage of financial slavery, people. And you're using it to scratch your fucking asses by exchanging it on exchanges. It's cryptocurrency is not a goddamn market, people. It's a reality. It's a fucking reality. Monero is the only, well, and DAI. Monero and DAI are the only realities in cryptocurrency. The rest is fucking garbage, people. You guys are trying to make money off of it. Oh, fuck you. You can't. Fuck you.
So John, I guess what you're saying is that the exchanging, the storing value, that's all whatever. The real value is in changing the way people interact, communicate, stuff like that on a global basis. So all the financial, like the DeFi stuff, is kind of useless. Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is that cryptocurrency is a goddamn currency. Currency. Those who use it as currency will create the value for that currency, which is why Monero is now worth 1,000 times more than Bitcoin, even though the markets don't represent it. I don't give a shit. In 5 years, it will represent it because people are smarten up. No, the value of any cryptocurrency is what is its use. Do you understand?
So John, what about for the giants though? Like, I mean, like the asset
The
managers with
who?
billions of dollars, they want just the giants of the space, the banks, they want exposure to Bitcoin because they want to search for yield, they want an uncorrelated asset. They don't care about privacy. So what's going to happen to them? How do they get involved?
Well, they're going to lose all their money. If you think Bitcoin is a store of value, are you fucking kidding me, people? I mean, is the air a store of value? Is a garbage dump a store? Please, people, wake the fuck up. There's no store of value in cryptocurrency. There's just utility. It's always been utility. For 4 years, Bitcoin was utility.
But John, why can't utility be a store of value? Why can't my utility be?
It is a store of value, but there's no utility to Bitcoin. Do you understand? What utility? Go on the dark web, find a single fucking vendor that will accept Bitcoin anymore. Nobody. 100% is Monero. All centralized exchanges today are under the thumb of governments. Everyone. Try to get onto Binance without giving them your your driver's license or your passport or your address or your bank account information. What? You're fucked. As soon as you get out of Monero, you're fucked, people.
You want to access the phone. The FBI is asking for a master key. I have been in this business my entire life. There has never been a single instance of a master key or a backdoor being placed in software that was not accessed within a matter of weeks by foreign agents or black hat hackers.
All right.
There is simply no way, sir, no way to keep this within the FBI or within Apple. There are going to be dozens of programmers working on this thing.
At one point in time, the Chinese, the Russians, they're all going to get this technology. I think if we could get it first and safeguard it, yes. But we're talking about the lives of American people, not about a burglar, not about someone who's involved in minor criminal activity, but the lives of the American people. And I get the Privacy Act. Believe me, I do. But I also believe in common sense. And common sense dictates, look, if we got a way to get these terrorists, let's do it.
John?
Well, Mr. Rogers, I didn't mention privacy as the issue here. I mentioned security and safety for America. The FBI was hacked a month ago by a 15-year-old boy who walked off with thousands of personnel records, including undercover agents. And you're telling me you're going to keep this safe? You can't, sir. It is not possible.
What do you do?
Of course we do, but we want to be safe also from hackers getting into our telephones, stealing our money, our credit cards, and our IDs, watching our daughters while they're in the bathroom. Good Lord, sir.
If the US gets its way, the FBI gets its way, then soon China simply comes up with a legitimate court order and says, our court has said we want it too. Oh, and by the way, here's a court order from North Korea, such as it might be. Oh, and another court order, Germany would like it, and the UK, and before long, every country is coming up with valid court orders for Apple to do the same thing.
I believe they'll get this information and this technology before they need a court order.
Mr. Rogers continually says, well, we will at least have the software first before the foreign agencies get it. Well, if you don't have the key, nobody gets it, and we're safe from the foreign agencies. There are hundreds of millions of people using the iPhone. We are all at risk if the FBI gets its way. And there are many ways that they can get access to this. I've offered for free to give them access to the phone. There are tons of ways to do it, sir, and if the FBI does not have the capability, then my heart is saddened.
How about we work together? How about there is a happy medium, somehow, some way? Maybe the FBI and you all could work together.
Because if you think about it, most people live in fear. Certainly most college students do. You have a fear of failure. You have a fear of not belonging. You have a fear of the future, what will happen. Even with your hopes, there is the fear of not achieving those hopes and dreams. So you have to not be afraid of life. And that's the most difficult thing to do. But being afraid does not help you.
Yeah.
When you do get out into life and you get a job and you commute to work every fucking day, you get to work at 9, you spend 8 hours in a windowless, airless office and commute back home, and you do this every fucking day for 40 years and you don't love it. Why do you do it? Because you're afraid of what might happen if you quit.
Yeah.
So no.
Well,
So here's the simple formula. Since you're young children and have not been told properly, perhaps by the society around you, how to live, first and foremost, do only what you love, not what your head tells you to do. But money, people think, oh, money's going to make you happy. It will not. I promise you. The more money you have, the more fear you're going to have, because you have more fear of losing more. So the issue with money is you think you must have it in order to do something, and that's utter bullshit, people. Utter bullshit. Follow your heart. Your heart doesn't care about money, neither does it need money. And if your heart says, walk the world, then walk the world. If your heart says, go down to Miami and be a beach bum, then be a beach bum. If your heart says, become a professional surfer, buy a fucking surfboard. What else does it take, people?
Well, what if your heart says you want to go into space and you want to take it on like Elon Musk's SpaceX program?
I don't think that any heart wants to do that. I think your mind wants to do that. I think your mind says, oh, that would be wonderful. But why don't you sit quietly with your heart and see what it wants? Your heart wants to love. It wants joy. It wants to express. Most hearts would go, I don't know. I mean, it sounds kind of cramped up there. And only 4 or 5 people, and how long I'm going to be up there. And I think your heart wouldn't want that. I think your mind wants those things. Here's the problem, people. You don't know whether you're listening to your thoughts, your intellect, your rational self, or whether you're listening to your heart. Do you understand? There's a huge difference. I don't think any heart wants to go to space. Most hearts want to love and to feel, touch, experience, whether it hurts or not, the life around you. You don't need to go into space, people. Space surrounds you, an infinite space in all directions.
So your advice for college students is just to follow your heart despite the consequences.
Yeah, because you're not going to know what the consequences are. Here's the thing. The mind anticipates consequences. The heart doesn't. When you fall in love, if you've ever done that, or if you're 20 something, of course you have, or you thought you did, some of you, did you think of consequences at the moment that you felt that surge of beauty and awe inside you? Fuck no. You just followed it. It's the mind that looks at consequences. Well, fuck me. You don't have a crystal ball inside your head, people. You may think you do, but you don't. So this is the problem. Why do you spend time concerning yourself with politics? Do you understand that we have a two-party system here that has divided the country? We didn't have any parties when America started. It was America. You voted for president. No parties. There weren't a divide. There wasn't this side and that side. And the parties create a division in your perception. Gun control, no gun control. Immigration, no immigration. On and on and on, all the way down the line. Do you understand those are false divisions? They were created in your mind by the neuro-linguistic programming of the two-party system.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that has to go. The next thing that has to go is we just stop paying the taxes that pay. Do you understand that 25% of the country is the government? Do you know what it was to begin with? 1/10 of 1%, which is what it should naturally be.
Yeah.
The government was created to serve us. When's the last time the government served any of you students? You serve the government. When you get out with your degrees and get your job, the government's going to take 25% of your money.
Yeah.
That's illegal. That's not part of the Constitution. Prior to 1913, we had no taxes, and we were a vibrant nation. We were the industrial power of the world. We don't have any industry anymore. Taxes have destroyed it.
Yeah.
Have taken all the energy that we used to apply to creating to pay for a government that no longer serves us.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be our servant. Is it? It's your master. Listen, do servants tell you, boss, go home, lock yourself in the door? No. Servants don't do that. What we do is tell the government, okay, you guys shut down for a while because we're busy. Do you understand what has happened? There has been a complete reversal of intent.
Yeah.
What breaks my heart is you guys in school are allegedly very smart kids, and you can't figure this shit out on your own.
Yeah.
It drives me mad.
I think the anxiety for most of us is just, like we're all going to graduate with probably some level of debt that we have to repay to either our parents or to the government. And then, in order to be a functioning member of society the way that we see it, you need to have a job that pays a certain salary. And I guess you kind of alluded to how dreary that is.
But see, don't you understand? You have just sold yourself into slavery.
Yeah.
You understand? I'm going to get a degree. I'm going to become a slave in order to do it, and I will be a slave therefore ever after. You're slave to the economic system structured by the U.S. government. Let me tell you some stories. Maybe they don't teach history anymore. Are you kids familiar with a thing called scrip? SCRIP. In the late 1800s and the turn of the century, all over the world, large corporations didn't pay in cash. We didn't have such a system in the 1800s. There were different monetary systems everywhere. Throughout the West, a bank would issue its own currency, whatever. Scrip. So scrip, you worked for, let's say, a coal mine. Coal mines are usually in remote places, or a lumber yard, remote places, or whatever. And you were paid in scrip, which could only be exchanged at the company store. And you lived in company housing. Think of what this did. Do you understand that it cost corporations nothing? I'm going to pay you, back then, $5,000 here was a lot. Pay you $5,000 in scrip, but you got to pay, you got to use it at our company store, and we get to decide what the fucking prices are. You guys, do you understand the U.S. dollar is just scrip? It's the same thing, only from a bigger entity called the government.
Yeah.
You got to free yourself from that before you're going to be free, people.
Yeah.
And you have the tools. You've got cryptocurrency. You've got, I mean, good God Almighty, there are people like myself. Janice and I don't have bank accounts. We don't have a credit card.
Yeah.
We don't need money because we use cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Everything we buy, everything we sell, everything I'm paid, all of the people who work for me are paid in crypto. We don't pay attention anymore to what governments demand that we do. Throughout time, all dictators have been desperate to know everything about the people, because if you do, you are God. And now America is God, because they know everything about you. But not Janice and I. We don't have phones, haven't had phones for years. We can't have phones, because we had phones, we'd be collected.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I guess my question for you is, have you seen The Matrix? Do you know the scene where, I think it's Cypher, he says, I eat the steak, I taste the steak. For me, I know it's fake, but it tastes good. Why should I even bother leaving the Matrix? What are your thoughts on that?
That's your choice, son. That's your choice, exactly. I prefer reality, even if it tastes bad.
Yeah. Well,
because here's the problem. When you see the steak and you taste the steak, not your steak, it's created by someone else who now owns you. You lose yourself as an identity. I'd rather be John McAfee free and taste bad stuff than to taste someone else's steak and be controlled entirely by the universe that they create around me. And if you don't mind living in someone else's universe, then please do that. Please.
Yeah.
But you're no longer human.
Yeah.
And you are no longer an identity. And you no longer have the right even to have a name. And that entity that you trust controls you. For example, the government, you got to trust it, because they're saying it's the US dollar, trust us, it's good. If they want, they can issue $2 trillion more, which instantly makes the money you've earned and worked your life for worth 15% less. Do you see how it works?
Yeah.
They own you. They own you. They control you. You must trust them. And when they choose to betray your trust by issuing more dollars, you can do nothing about it. In cryptocurrency, no one can issue anymore. I don't know why they're not teaching this in school. I mean, didn't you learn in high school how to open a bank account and what a statement looked like? Didn't that take you a day or two to learn?
They don't teach.
This is your statement. This is your. Well, someone taught it. I mean, everybody knows it by the time you're in college, right?
Yeah.
If you get a bank statement and you have your balance at the bottom and your credits at the top and all of the transactions, someone had to tell you how to do that. Your parents, somebody. Why aren't they doing that for crypto? Because that bank statement is going to disappear. And there won't be any banks in 10 years. This is going to be crypto.
You think it's
so someone surely has got to be teaching this stuff. If not, well, you give me the goddamn name and phone number of the president of the college, and I will ream him a new asshole. Sources like Google and so on I mean, the internet will give you access to everything. And when you're in class and the professor's explaining this, you go, oh, whoa, excellent. Would you branch to here, please? I'd like to know more about that. No, it's not possible. It's a human finite mind trying to teach other finite minds. Good God Almighty, in one day, if you apply yourself, you could learn more than an entire fucking semester in physics or mathematics or anything. It breaks my heart to see the sadness of our educational system when at your fingertips is ultimate knowledge.
You know, if you, assuming you send your kid to a public school or private school, and it doesn't really matter nowadays, like they also have certain truths that they're instilling. And then you have parents that are instilling another truth. So how do you go about just remaining neutral?
I didn't say remain neutral at all. You
What's
should
the difference?
never be neutral. You should be always 100% in all circumstances on the side of young nameless. Do you understand?
Mm.
All right. So you then need not. Why should you listen to? Does school know Mr. Nameless? Have they shaken his hand? Have they listened to him as he awoke crying from a dream? Have they held Mr. Nameless in their arms? Have they? No. What the fuck do they have to do with Mr. Nameless? Nothing. Only you, your husband, and those who have met personally Mr. Nameless. So why the fuck do you care what they're saying? No, I'm sorry. It sounds simplistic, but it is.
But kids are so malleable, right? So like, and I find a lot of kids can easily be more influenced by like peers and teachers than parents, just because like the parents aren't cool or anymore, and what do you know, right? So it's like, how do you create a buffer for that?
You don't need to.
No.
The child's most influential time, every human's most influential time in their life, is the first 3 years of it, where they begin to understand what the reality is. I mean, for 2 weeks, Nameless didn't even recognize who you were, right? And then suddenly he did. And from there began to, you are the guide to his reality in these 3 years of his life. I mean, so you doesn't matter what's going to happen after. Pay attention to now. What does he want? What he wants is a coherent understanding of his environment. The relationship between you and your husband. Is it calm? Is it happy? Is it comforting? Or are there angry words in front of Mr. Nameless? Who gives a shit about what school he's going to go to? That's of no importance compared to what he is learning of the truth of this world through you and your husband.
Well, I hope you're right. I definitely hope you're right.
Okay, I mean, how can that possibly be wrong?
Because you see certain, I guess, issues kind of arising, especially within schools and with peers, and then a lot of parents are like, "What do I do?" So I guess like that's where my.
Well, you know, if by the age of 3, if you have given an environment of nothing but love to Mr. Nameless, it's not going to matter what school you send him to. Do you understand? He will, at the age of 3, have formed within himself a solid basis of relationship to reality. And from that, who gives a flying fuck? I mean, school him yourself, send him to a Montessori school. It will not fucking matter. It won't. It won't. And if you have given him an environment of love, caring, and harmony, and then sat him down at the age of 5, or when do kids go to school these days? 4, 5, 6?
18 months now.
Well, don't do that. Don't do that. Why would you do that? Please, God,
the
that's
narrative
insane.
is that it's supposed to like give them a leg up on kids that don't, and they're getting ahead instead.
Stop listening to the narrative and listen to the heart of a mother, which is in you. Good God Almighty, that's insane. I had no idea.
Oh,
I'm gonna start lobbying against that shit.
Yeah,
Don't do
it's
it.
really young.
Don't do it. No, it's stupid. Why do they say that? Because those in power don't want a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old who's already formed starting. They want to start indoctrination and propaganda at the age of 18 months, please. God, see the horror in that?
No, totally.
No.
And that's where we started getting like our concerns when it came to education, because certain things that they were teaching 18-month-olds, I was like, this is really off. Like things that were just, in my mind, wildly inappropriate. So it didn't make sense.
Well, so then if it is, then don't do it. Listen to your heart and go, not going to do it. Fuck you people.
Totally.
I'll send them to school at 5 or 6. If you don't like it, fuck you.
Yeah, it's a crazy time for being a parent right now.
When I watched that video, I didn't see a white man kneeling on a black man's neck. I saw a policeman kneeling on a citizen's neck. I mean, I've been arrested 21 fucking times. There's nobody in this goddamn world that understands police better than me. Let me explain something. If you give me 2 minutes to talk, that's all I'm asking. Will you do that for me? Sure. All right. This is difficult to explain. I'll do it the best way I can. Human beings, all of us, and if you want to deny this, that's your business, are divided into 2 halves. We love, we have compassion, we're generous, kind, caring. All of us, without exception, even the worst of us. And simultaneously, we are fearful, greedy, jealous, envious, angry, even the best of us. And if you give one of us, a human being, power over another human being, what part of us uses that power? Do you think love needs power? Love flowers from the human fucking heart, people. It doesn't need, want, or has no use for power. Compassion, the same thing. Caring, no. None of those things need, want, or can use it. What needs, wants, and can use power? Greed certainly can. You've got power, you can take whatever the fuck you want. If you are angry, you can smack with enough power whoever the fuck you want. If you're envious, you can either take it or replicate it yourself if you have power. People, it is the ugly, negative, destructive part of the human being that uses power in all of us. And if you think there are exceptions, then please God, spend 10 minutes looking in the fucking mirror. And so you give people power, and if you think a policeman don't have power, he's a man with a gun and can shoot you and pretty much get away with it in most cases, then what I saw was a human being with power subjecting another human being without power to whatever they wanted. This is the problem, people. It's not black and white. It's not culture. It's power versus the powerless. And all of us that are not officials in this fucking world are powerless. And who has the power? Police, the army, local, state, federal government. We are the powerless people.
I have personally paid tens of millions of dollars in U.S. taxes, and my company has paid billions of dollars. Please translate that.
Yo he pagado millones de dólares en impuestos y mi empresas han pagado miles de millones de dólares también en impuestos.
While I was chairman of the company, I began to see corruption within the IRS, within our Internal Revenue System.
Entonces
to
vendí mi
Germany
empresa y me metí en política.
because I believed that only through political action could the corruption within the IRS be exposed. In 2016, I ran for nomination for President of the United States
En
in
2010,
the Libertarian Party. Please translate.
en 2016 me presenté como candidato a la presidencia de los Estados Unidos en este partido, en el Partido Libertario.
I announced that my platform would be based on exposing the corruption within the IRS. If I am extradited to the U.S., please translate.
En caso de ser extraditado a los Estados Unidos,
I will most certainly spend the rest of my life in prison. Please translate.
con toda seguridad pasaré el resto de mis días en prisión.
I would ask the court to take all of these things into consideration. Thank you.
John McAfee was not suicidal. I spoke with him a few hours before he was found dead. We spoke about the court's decision to extradite him to the U.S. It did not come as a surprise to either of us. We were prepared for that decision and had a plan of action already in place to appeal that decision. I blame the U.S. authorities for this tragedy. Because of these politically motivated charges against him, my husband is now dead. His last words to me were, "I love you and I will call you in the evening." Those words are not words of someone who is suicidal. All John wanted to do was spend his remaining years fishing and drinking. He did not deserve to die in a filthy prison like a caged animal. We knew that there would be an uphill battle to continue to fight this situation. But he's a fighter. He's always a fighter, and anybody that knows John, that knows him even a little bit, knows that about him. He would never quit this way. He would never take his life in this way. I didn't believe he did this, and I will get answers. I want answers of how this was able to happen. You know, I got the report. It took a while to get the report from the prison. The investigative report. You know, so in the meantime, I'm trying to ask the attorney, you know, when will they release his body? You know, so because I was ready to leave Spain. I didn't want to stay there. There was no reason for me to stay there. I just needed his body so I could go. But because of the investigation, they weren't releasing the body. So they didn't close the investigation until I think it was 8 months later. And they didn't release the autopsy report. What they gave as the autopsy was like a summary, right?
Right.
And then they gave a tox report showing, you know, saying that what drugs he had in his system. So I think like pain medicine or something. Nothing alarming, nothing out of the ordinary, I don't think, as far as I remember. But there was nothing, usually, you know, an autopsy report is very detailed, right? You've got pictures, you've got all the things and all the things. But there was just 4 pages, and it was, again, just like a summary. So when I got that information, the attorney said that if I allow them to close this investigation without asking them for this information, then I cannot come back and ask for it. So if I'm going to, ask them to give it to me, then I have to put the appeal in now. So that's what we did. And because of that, they kept his body. And I did not get his body until December of 2023. So I had to stay there in Spain that entire time because I wasn't going to leave without him. I just wasn't going to leave without him, And so that was a really, really, really hard decision. But I needed the information. I don't know, I just couldn't walk away. You know what I'm saying? And I just didn't understand why they wouldn't release his body because there's nothing that they needed his body for. And so I was trying to also get an independent autopsy, but that was going to cost me like $20K. And by then what money I had was getting really low, and I just didn't have the $20K, to have someone flown from Madrid to do the autopsy. Then I also found out that apparently, during the first 6 months of them having his body, they did not store it properly. They just, I guess, kept it refrigerated. And so there would have been deterioration in the body.
Right. You weren't going to get much.
So, right. And so, so the decision was just made to just cremate him because that's what he wanted anyways.
Right.
When we spoke about that, he said he wanted to be cremated. So that's what I had to do. But they still, was still in the end trying to fight to be able to see him. I don't even know what I was asking for because I'm sure it would have been horrible to see. But I just needed to see him all the way, I unobstructed, but they wouldn't let me do that. And so they take the casket and just put it in there in the thing. So they let me do that. They took me down to the incineration room and had the anyways. So yeah. So they let me do that and so that was it.